The Bold and the Beautiful episode recap and analysis September 4th exclusive. Rich stuck between two fires on Thursday's explosive episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. The emotional and romantic battlefield once again tightened its grip on Ridge Forrester, as his heart was tugged in opposing directions by loyalty, family, and an undeniable, enduring love. It's a classic B&B standoff, but with deeper stakes this time because Ridge is no longer just caught between two women. He's caught between generations, legacy, and the brutal weight of expectation. At the center of the storm is Taylor Hayes, who has chosen this very moment to press Ridge to finally set a wedding date. She's waited. She's watched. She's been patient. And now, with her children aligning behind her and with Steffi soon returning, she believes the stars have finally aligned. A fall wedding. A fresh start. A family united. That's the picture she paints for Ridge, and it's not hard to see why it's tempting. But Ridge's face says it all. Behind his practiced smile and half-hearted nods, there's turmoil. Because someone else is in his head and in his heart. And that someone is Brooke Logan. Enter Eric Forrester, the patriarch who's seen it all and isn't afraid to speak the truth even when it's uncomfortable. He finds Ridge visibly rattled, and with the quiet strength only a father can wield, he digs deep. He knows what's bothering Ridge. It's Brooke. It's always been Brooke. And Ridge doesn't deny it. Their conversation cuts to the heart of Ridge's crisis. Yes, Thomas and Steffi want their parents together. Yes, the family dream has always been for Taylor and Ridge to reunite, rebuild, and re-establish the Forrester legacy on what they believe is solid ground. But Eric, seasoned and wise, lays it down clearly. Your future can't be built on what your children want for you, Ridge. It has to be what you want, and what Ridge wants even now may still be Brooke. Ridge confesses something he hasn't told many. Thomas came to him, not in anger, but in heartfelt appeal. He begged his father to stay the course, to choose Taylor, to not abandon her again. And Ridge listened. Because as flawed as Thomas can be, there's genuine vulnerability in his plea. He's tired of watching his mother get left behind. But Eric cuts through the emotion with clarity. Ridge can't marry Taylor out of guilt or obligation. He can't make a promise to Brooke in Rome, a promise that wasn't just romantic, but real, and now pretend it never happened. Eric knows that kind of compromise never lasts. And deep down, Ridge does too. Meanwhile, back at Forrester Creations, Brooke and Katie are having a quiet moment until the calm is shattered by Thomas, who strides into the design room with an agenda. No small talk. No pleasantries. He's here with a message. And it's not subtle. My parents are engaged, he says firmly. Don't do anything to get in the way of that again. Katie stiffens. Brooke's eyes narrow. This isn't just a warning, it's a line in the sand. And Thomas is daring her to cross it. But Brooke Logan doesn't do passive. She may have made mistakes in the past, but she won't be intimidated, especially not by Thomas. She doesn't snap. But her glare says it all. You don't tell me what I can or cannot do with Ridge. Still, Thomas's words land like punches. Not just because of the message, but because they remind her of the stakes. Ridge is drifting, torn, and vulnerable to the same family pressures that always seem to push them apart. And Thomas is just the messenger. The real force behind all this, the architect, is Taylor. And Taylor is done waiting. When Ridge returns home, her energy is different. She's radiant, smiling, and determined. There's no room for uncertainty in her voice when she starts floating the idea of locking down a date. Fall. Golden leaves. A picturesque wedding with Steffi back, Thomas by their side, and the Forrester family whole again. She leans in. She wants this. She believes it's time. But Ridge isn't so sure. He hears Taylor's excitement, but it's drowned out by the echo of a promise made under the Italian sun. Brooke, Rome, that kiss, that vow. It wasn't a fantasy, it was real. It meant something. And now, standing here in LA, it haunts him. Because if he goes through with this wedding, he's erasing that moment. he's breaking a promise he's never admitted publicly. And he knows it. So what now? Taylor watches him closely, sensing the hesitation. She pushes gently at first, then more firmly. "We've come this far," she says. "The kids are finally happy. We deserve this, but Ridge can't hide it." The weight of his silence says more than words ever could. Does he tell her the truth that he made a private vow to Brooke in Italy that he hasn't had the courage to reveal? Does he crush her hopes again? Destroy the fragile peace that's finally starting to hold within the Forrester clan? Or does he lie to her, to himself, and lock in a wedding date he knows he's not ready for? This is Ridge Forrester's crossroads. And time is running out. Because what no one knows yet is that Brooke is not going to back down. She heard Thomas loud and clear, but she's not walking away from Ridge without a fight. If Taylor thinks she secured her future, she may be in for the biggest shock of all. Behind the scenes, emotional landmines are being planted. Loyalty is about to be tested, and someone's heart, maybe more than one, is going to break. Will Ridge listen to his father and follow his heart? Will he finally tell Taylor the truth before it's too late? Or will he let the momentum of family pressure drag him into a marriage that was doomed from the moment he kissed Brooke in Rome? One thing's certain: autumn may bring falling leaves, but it might also bring shattered dreams. Stay tuned. The fallout is just beginning. Sheila Carter has worn many faces: mother, lover, criminal, fugitive. And now she wears a new one: hero. But behind that mask, the same calculating mind ticks, the same hunger for control festers, and the same agenda presses forward. This isn't a redemption arc. This is Sheila rewriting the rules of the game, and this time, she's using good deeds as her weapon of choice. After risking her life to save someone in need, Sheila has flipped the narrative. She's no longer lurking in the shadows, she's stepping into the spotlight, embracing the role of the misunderstood savior. But this is Sheila, and everything she does serves a purpose. Now she's set her sights on Luna. With surgical precision, Sheila targets Luna's insecurities, choosing the perfect moment to deliver what seems like heartfelt advice. Step back, let go of your fantasies. Protect your heart before it breaks. On the surface, it's caring, even wise. But the words aren't kindness, they're psychological warfare. Sheila isn't protecting Luna. She's isolating her, creating doubt. And in that doubt, Sheila plants the seed of influence. Luna, torn between the intensity of her feelings and the sudden surge of doubt injected by Sheila, finds herself reeling. Her world, once grounded in the simplicity of romance, is now clouded with suspicion. Is she chasing something real, or has she become the pawn in someone else's play? Enter Lee Finnegan. Sharp, unyielding, unforgiving. She sees right through Sheila's transformation. Lee isn't moved by the hero narrative, not for a second. She confronts Sheila head-on, denouncing her attempts to meddle in Luna's life or insert herself into any part of the Finnegan family orbit. For Lee, redemption doesn't erase history. It doesn't resurrect trust. And it definitely doesn't give Sheila a seat at the table. But as always, Sheila doesn't flinch. She smiles. She plays the long game. Every attack on her new life becomes more evidence of how unfairly she's treated. She doesn't fight back, she absorbs, twists, and deflects. And slowly, ever so slowly, some begin to question, is she really that dangerous anymore? That question lands hardest with Finn and Steffi. The emotional stakes for them are unbearable. This is not just a moral dilemma. This is personal. Sheila is Finn's biological mother, a bond she exploits with surgical precision. She's trying to rewrite their history, frame herself as a reformed parent, one who's paid her debts and just wants a second chance. Steffi sees the danger. She sees through the soft words and calm voice. Sheila doesn't change. She adapts. And this rebranded version of Sheila, is even more dangerous than the one who once held them at gunpoint. Because now, people are starting to believe her. The tension builds at the Forrester estate. Conversations become minefields. Finn, caught between the woman who gave birth to him and the woman he loves, begins to question what justice truly looks like. Can someone so destructive truly turn over a new leaf? Or is this all just another phase in Sheila's endless manipulation? Steffi won't budge. She's lived through Sheila's chaos. She's nearly died from it. And she knows that any window left open is an invitation for Sheila to crawl through. Her stance is clear. Expose her, confront her, shut her down. But Finn hesitates. What if Sheila really is trying to change? What if a life-saving act means something? What if redemption, as rare as it is actually possible? This rift doesn't just threaten their peace, it threatens their marriage. Because the issue isn't just Sheila anymore. It's what she represents. Forgiveness, trust, control, danger. And the cracks she's exploiting are already visible. Meanwhile, Sheila continues her slow infiltration. Every interaction is part of the plan. With Luna, it's empathy and whispered warnings. With Finn, it's maternal longing and passive appeals. With everyone else, it's patience and performance. She knows she won't be welcomed in with open arms, so she's building a Cassia case where they become the unreasonable ones, and she becomes the victim of their paranoia. But Lee isn't playing along. She pushes harder. She starts making calls, gathering evidence, tracing patterns. If Sheila wants to play the long game, Lee's ready to match her move for move. She proved that a good deed doesn't erase a lifetime of calculated cruelty. She ripped the mask off, even if no one else wants to see what's underneath. The question remains, will Finn and Steffi align before it's too late? Because as Sheila gains ground in Luna's mind, as she starts worming her way into the spaces between people, the fallout becomes inevitable. Someone will trust her. Someone will defend her. And when that happens, Sheila wins. Not through violence, not through threats, but through the deadliest weapon of all, doubt. This arc isn't about a woman trying to make amends. It's about whether the people she's hurt are strong enough to resist the lie of her redemption. And in the background, one chilling truth echoes. Sheila Carter doesn't change. She evolves. And this version of her? It's the most dangerous one yet.